Everybody, how are you doing? And I just wanted to let you know a couple of things. First off, I have to go out in that today, and so I really, I really I would love to pretend that days like this don't exist ever. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cancel this whole morning and go back to another day where it was pure heaven and bliss to be outdoors. So that's one thing. And another thing is that before I start off with my next vlog, I want to just say that my last upload that it was surrounding the case of little Peggy, who vanished in 2001. And so I am aware that the police did initially match DNA presumably found at the scene, that belonged to a very notorious and now passed away serial murderer. He was a terrorist, guys. He was involved in all kinds of outlandish crimes. And so I'm not going to go there because it doesn't involve the suspect. And so the suspect of the MaddieMcCann case, I'm saying. And so what happened, guys, is that even though I saw in the article that I read that the police allegedly made an error calculating the DNA that was found near the scene of Peggy's discovery in a German forest, I believe, or was it a Bavarian forest? I'm so terrible at this. Anyway, she was found, I believe, in a German forest, and so police retracted that identification of the DNA that allegedly matched this presumed serial killer. I don't know, guys. It's up in the air. It's been alleged that it was him and that it was not him. And so, but there were so many headlines that were screaming about all this identification of the DNA. I think it may have been an error. It may just be that the DNA at the scene got mixed up with the DNA in the labs belonging to the serial criminal. So I just wanted to clarify that. We don't know actually who Peggy's abductor and murderer was. We don't know. It could have been more than one people. It could have been one person. We don't know. And so today I'm going to be talking about the disappearance of Joana Cipriano in Portugal. I believe it was 2004. And so that's what this case is really, that's what this episode is actually all about. And it's not a cooking vlog, although I may show you some clips. I probably will leave that for another day. I'm getting so terrible at this, but this is an important vlog. I want you to listen up and you know, figure out why exactly the lead detective in this case and in the MaddieMcCann's case was ultimately put behind bars. So listen up, and we're going to get to that very, very soon. Take care. Welcome to my channel. Now, the earliest disappearance was the same year. It took place in 2004 in Praia da Luz, the same year that Hazel was attacked. Hazel, the holiday rep. And if you can recall, she was the Irish girl who was stationed in Praia da Luz for travel purposes as a holiday rep. And I'm not sure exactly what airline she was working for or what tour company she may have been working for, but it was the same year. Now, little Joana Cipriano was 8 years old when she vanished after leaving a cafe in 2004. And, you know, her body has never been found. No remains have ever been found. And nothing concrete or true has ever materialized from anything from this case. No physical evidence whatsoever. And so this is a very important case. And if you can understand and bear with me and have been patient all this time into trying to understand why I have certain feelings about Amaral that I have tried to voice, and they weren't just based on hate, okay? No, I don't hate. I hate what he did, yes. But if you can just bear with me, I'm going to present it to you in a purely truthful and objective way, nothing but the truth. And so she vanished from an area that was quite close to where actually MaddieMcCann vanished in 2007, 3 years later. And of course, neither of these two little girls have ever been found. And so the detective who did lead that investigation, which became botched, if you will, was led by none other than our dear Amaral. So, what happened in this case should pretty much describe what went down in MaddieMcCann's case, it was, I'm just going to give it to you straight. He falsified papers. He hid documents. He lied. And he was sentenced to 18 months. So you might be asking, well, what happened? Okay. Let me answer that with another question or another statement. When you go back and think about what the McCanns have had to go through legally in court, consider them lucky, okay? Consider them extremely lucky. So here it is in a nutshell. Joana's mom, Leonora, and her uncle, Joao, were convicted of little Joana's own murder. Yes, guys. All because Amaral chose to lie and falsify documents and hide others. And so you might be asking, well, what happened? What happened? Well, these two innocent people spent 20 years behind bars. Way to go, Amaral! So, guys, when I do voice opinions, and sometimes they're a little more educated than I might lead on or let you believe they are, I usually only do so when I have a very good reason for it. And so let me tell you this much. I would never lie about trying to present facts to you. And the facts speak for themselves. So you can understand why I am so I don't know how to describe the word or the sentiment I feel when I read about Amarel's sense of victory when he defeated the poor McCanns in court. They should be so lucky that they didn't end up behind bars, because he's gotten quite good at this. However, if I ever voiced an opinion that the laws may have been discriminatory and biased against certain, sorry guys, biased against certain foreigners, I stand corrected, because if there were ever a case that seems to, show bias, it would be of these Portuguese citizens. I don't understand it. I could understand a racist person doing it to outsiders, but their own citizens, to put people away with no evidence. When did that start? With Amanda Knox? Even little Joana's stepfather, besides the wrongly accused, insisted that there could be no way. There was no way that they would ever have had anything to do with that. Little Joana went missing. And now, guys, I'm asking you to please, I know that you're not the judge and jury, but if you don't find this fishy, I don't know what you'll find weird and off and out of place. Usually people don't do this unless they're trying to cover something up. And I'm not talking about Joana's parents. I'm talking about the police. Yeah, I'm talking about the police. Why would they go through such lengths to put them away and take the rap for something that somebody else did? Now, this is what I'm saying about other facts from other cases coming out into the open. And maybe, just maybe, there may be other charges that we are totally unaware of that could be pending, depending on the outcomes of these other cases. Now, if you don't think that Madeline's investigation was harmed by crap like this, the poor little Joanna went missing at 8 years old and is still gone. If you don't think that there's anything wrong with this, then you may as well stop listening, because that's what I'm trying to uncover. All of this injustice. How is it possible that a police department can apologize for something like that? There's no apology for things like this. There's no taking it back. And now, I guess it's turning into a rant, but I don't want it to. So, what can I say? Joanna's stepdad also spoke up when he learned of our prime suspect's possible link to the case of MaddieMcCann. He told the police that he wanted him investigated, just like Phil and Andreas, the other fathers involved in these missing people and missing kids cases. So, if you're following this logic, you will understand that certainly, okay, in the case where the women were involved, the hair and the film, they were evidence that completely convicted the prime suspect. But don't forget, guys, they already cleared him by the time Hazel got around to alerting them. So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure that they were at all serious about finding out who this individual or this group, it may have been done by a group of people, who was responsible. I don't think they cared. So, maybe we haven't found any evidence or any remains because maybe little Joanna was trafficked or transported way across the world without anybody ever knowing. Where is she? And so I'm going back to the trial of her mother and her uncle. How is it possible? How is it possible legally to have a murder trial without a body? With trafficking going on? Why would such a crime be so consistently and persistently and ardently suppressed by police? Were police involved? How can they not be? If they're involved in the cover-up, how can they not be? Any trial or investigation surrounding these missing children is not effective or real justice unless this man is brought again behind bars. In other words, there has to be some proof of his connection. I'm talking about Amaral, of his connection to a group of criminals. Whether he knows it or he doesn't, I don't care. Very obviously, he's quite aware of some sort of criminal connection, or he would not have sentenced the family members without evidence. I mean, don't forget, a court of law in Portugal sentenced him, not me. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you right now. I will come back at you with the disappearance of, I believe it's Peggy, and we'll talk more about her in the next vlog. Bye-bye.